push pin under here. Just use a trim tool. Just take that push pin out. Slides out like that. And grab this piece. Slide it off. You might need a trim tool to get underneath here. Just try to pop that off. Just clipped in. Pop that off. There's a light under here. Just use a straight blade screwdriver or a trim tool. Just pry this down. Then we can disconnect it. Just like that. Now around the perimeter of this panel and this top piece, we need to use a trim tool. Just get in behind, and you just gotta pop it out. There's push pins holding it in. And just pop these all out. That panel comes off. Those are all the push pins. You need to take this plug off. Just take a pocket screwdriver, pop that off. And then also over near the speaker, you're gonna pop that one off too. What you want to do is raise the window up slightly. You can turn the key on to do that. And then you can access where the screw is at the base of the window, because we've got to take those screws and loosen those up. In the hole, we're going to use a T30 socket. Loosen up those screws. That's loose. Now do the same on the other side. Now the screws are loose. I'm just taking a magnet just to grab the screw and pull it outwards on both sides, just so it doesn't get in the way of the window. I just grab the window very gently and slide it out. Now you want to move these wiring harnesses. This one down below, just take it out of the retainers. Then we'll start disconnecting the connectors. There's a connector right here. Just slide that off. If you need to, use a pocket screwdriver. Push down on the tab, slide that out. Connector for the window motor. Push down on that, slide that out. Pull the retainer out. And the connector for the speaker, just disconnect that, push on the two tabs. Then we can disconnect this connector. And then the rest of this harness can stay with the panel. There's a little ratchet at the bottom of here. Just use the straight blade screwdriver, push up, and slide that down. Now this is going to stay with the door, and this panel will come off. Around the perimeter, I'm going to take these screws out, use a T30 socket. grab this panel here. You just pop it off. It's just clipped on right there. You have some more screws under there and there. Over on the side, there's some push pins right here. You want to take those out. Pop those out with a trim tool. Just so this is loose. And there's a retainer right there that holds that in. Pop those out. That's good. Over on the inside here, get underneath here and pop these out. And then on the front, there's a little clip right there. Just use the trim tool to pop those out. Use a 10mm socket, take this nut off. There's a little alignment tab right here. Slide that off, set that aside. Then with the same T30 socket, take these two screws out. Over on this side. Take those out. Underneath here, there's another screw. Use the T30 socket to get that one out. Now grab the panel, just slide it up slightly. Up and out. And where the door handle is on the inside, you want to just grab this tab, slide it out. It just pops off like that. And slip it through. It goes on the other side of these cables and on the back side of the window regulator. And you can set this aside. Now we're going to pop this cable off right here. You're going to have to pull that down and just pop the ball off the end right there. It slides off like that. And then you pull the cable through. Right there. Just pull the cable out of the way. Now I'm going to use a 5mm hex key. Take these screws out. There's one right here. If you want, you can use a socket if you have one that fits. And this little bracket's going to come off with it. And then there's another key, or another screw in here. There may be two. This one only has one. You're going to use the same 5mm hex key. If you have one that's long enough, you can go through here and loosen it up that way. And take that screw out. Now just grab the door handle from the outside and gently slide it out. And slide the cable back in. It's going to come through there. And if you have one with a push button on the handle, you want to slide the wiring harness through there as well. It's going to be the same procedure. And then connect the connector for that. Take that bracket, put the bracket on, and get the screw started. And the other screw. Slide that through there. And tighten the screws down. Now we're going to connect the cable. I'm going to slide the cable the same way it was when it came out. Slide it through that bracket there. Oops. Then we'll connect it down below. That's connected. And you want to get this cable pulled through this little bracket here. So if you pull up on this, so that it slips in position. Just with some needle nose pliers, I just want to get this in the correct position up top. Alright, so that's in position. Now we can slide it in down below. It's locked in, and then just grab the handle from the outside, make sure it works. You can always check the latch. And that works. Now just take the cable and we'll slide it the same position it came, behind the window regulator, behind these cables. And line it up. It should just clip in place. So you're going to slide the front part in first at an angle. And then clip it in place. And then just make sure it works. You can double check, make sure the latch will unlatch. And that's working properly. Get this on the other side of the lock rod. Make sure it's all lined up. Looks good. Put this bracket on. Get those two bolts started. And get these bolts in. You want to get all these panel bolts in before you tighten them down. Put that little alignment tab on. that nut on. And all these bolts. I'm going to tighten this nut up first. Snug that up. And then I'm going to go around and tighten all the other bolts. Here. Put this cover back on, just line it up. And snap it into place. Now we can connect the connectors, the window motor, get that lined up. This connector right here, line that up and stick that in the bracket. Lined up right there. Speaker connector. And then the main door harness. And lock that in place. Now reposition the trim right here. Make sure you lock it down. It's just a push pin. And then push pins on the side here. Push those in. There we go. Do the same on this side. Put the push pins on the side. Very carefully slide the window back in position. There we go. And take the T30 socket. Make sure the window's in the right spot. Do the same on this one. Now I'm going to torque the two window bolts to 8 foot-pounds. Do the same on this one. Now put these covers back in. Over there and over here. And now you can put the panel on. Now slide this panel in place, the lock rod through the hole, put that lined up. And make sure the wire down below goes through. And just tap it down. It's all lined up. Take that light, plug that back in. Slide it back in position. Take this trim piece, it's going to line up over here. Lock it down. And the little push pin, push that in.